And welcome back to another Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer battle. If you hear any explosions in the background, well, that sounds a bit over the top, but I'm recording this on the 31st of December, so you might hear a bit prematurely going off firework. Yeah. And for the map, we're on the map MP Crossroad, which is best described by the word flat, I guess, because technically the whole map is flat and there are no trees or whatsoever. It's basically a flat map. And today we're playing against the Lizardmen and the High Elves, as the Bretonians and the... Wait a moment, where are my allies? The Empire, exactly. I took the Bretonians just to match the Empire a bit. Didn't want to have beastmen walking side by side with the Empire people. So let's start with the deployment. The Lizardman player brought 4 units of Cold 1 cavalry, 2 basic and 2 spear variants. The spear variant has anti-large properties, while they all have armor piercing. Then he brought 1 Feral Stegadon, a frontline of 3 Thoros warriors with shields. Do they all have shields? Yeah, they do. Ooh, fancy. And 2 units of skink cohorts with javelins. And in the backline 2 units of skinks with blowpipes. Not chameleon skinks, but normal skinks. While in the battle I thought they were chameleon skinks. You can't really differentiate them by their icon, because it's the same, I believe. And a Bastiladon with a solar engine, not the Revivification Crystal one, and as well a Slan Mage Priest, which naturally has no mount other than his floating throne. Well, I'm not sure if it's really floating, and not this one root holding it, probably. Of light. So, wait a moment. We have, all light spells brought. That's odd. I mean, from Sham's Burning Gaze to Binora's Time Warp, all in it. Even the Unbreakable one, which no one really uses. And then for the highest player, we have a kind of ranged focus build with 3 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, 3 Northern Sea Guards without shields, and 4 Northern Sea Guards. Sorry, and 4 units of archers with light armor. Here you see them if you never saw the light armor version, as well as 4 units of spearmen. And a noble, as well as a dragon. No mage for this army whatsoever. Yeah. Then for my ally we have bit mixed up army here. 2 units of basic spearmen without shields, Luminarch of Fish, but the Templehof Luminarch version, so the elite version, which has a net spell. 2 units of Empire Knights, protecting a unit of the Silver Bullets, not Stolen's Revenge, damn it. The elite handgunner version. And 3 units of Great Swords, with 1 unit of Flagellants, the Tether Souls to be precise, and 1 unit of Swordsmen, which are the Sigma Sons. Leading the whole bunch is a priest, an Arc Lector, as well as a warrior priest. Let's take a look at him. He did take the banner of the Eternal Flame, so everyone around him gets hand attack strength as well as fire damage, and a Bright Wizard with some fire spells, and also the buff for all fire damage on the map, so that's a good one. It's also good for me, because I have brought 3 units of Peasant Bowmen with fire arrows. I didn't want to bring at the beginning I was thinking about bringing 4 units of them, but then knowing that I'm off against High Elves, I'm not sure if 4 bowmen would be that efficient against their archer line. And they brought a archer build, so yeah. If they would have focused on my archers, they would have been dead before they could have done anything. Then for my front line I have 3 units of basic peasant mobs, just because they are expendable, so no one cares if they flee, and they usually flee at about half their size, so they come back with half of their unit, so that's good. Then 4 units of basic men-at-arms with shields, a Grey Relic, and 2 units of spearmen-at-arms with shields, as well as a 3rd spearman-at-arms with shield here in the backline protecting my archers. For my leadership I have King Louis Leoncoeur on a horse, because I didn't want to have a flying one. I had bad experience against Hiles with that. And a damsel of beasts also on a horse, not a armored horse but a normal one. And for my cavalry line I have 2 units of Knights of the Realm. There and there. 1 unit... Oh. Are they 3? Okay, 3 units of Knights of the Realm. I thought I would have brought 1 Knights Errant. And 1 unit of Questing Knights leveled up because I had a lot of money over. Since... Yeah, I brought peasants for my front line, and the Bretonnian basic infantry line isn't supposed to be really that costly, so I had some money to spare. It would have been different if I brought flying or, well, artillery build or something with heavy infantry, but I thought going up against tiles, shields are better than armor, so yeah, kinda was going with that. And with that, let's start the battle.
Glory to Britannia!
At this point my ally was marching over here somewhat. I didn't know why, so I shifted my line into the side to kinda match that and not leave a gap directly between our armies, where I don't know, those 4 units could have run through and killed my archers or killed his backline.
I ride!
There we have the first few shots of the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower going in, but not the spread version. This is why you usually keep them off manual, keep them off auto fire until you switch the shot. Because then they can do a lot of damage, but again they are shooting against my peasant mobs, so yeah, they can do that if they want to waste their ammunition. I'm actually okay with this. Hey peasants, you were just brought here on the battlefield to die on the battlefield. How do you feel about it? Are you the king? I never voted for you. I'm not sure if I got this quote really correct.
The lady protects me!
I just know the German one. Damn it. Well, I'm thinking that I know the English one, but I only remember the German one. Yeah. And at this point the dragon was flying over here. I thought to catch my cavalry, but nah. And we have a little flock of doom going down here. Luckily it caught all of his 4 units. And one of my spearmen is already fleeing, so that's okay. Then I have my archers fire on the dragon. I think the dragon has fire resistance, so yeah. And here we have the first little engagement on my side. For my ally, he's a bit off the battle. I didn't notice that. Since I was under archer and artillery fire, I kinda had to go. And instantly his front line kinda passed by, especially his spearman. He did not bring any napbow, which I'm happy for. But he could have used his Sun Dragon to interrupt my cavalry charges and clear up rest with his spearmen. But he needed some to protect his front line, which was kinda under siege of one of my swordsmen. Causes an overreaction. And here we have a lot of fire arrows falling off him. Here my ally is engaging. I think he sniped this. Yeah, he sniped this land priest with his luminarch. Yeah, only the thrones left. It's kind of an epic looking picture here with the throne. And there we have it, the dragon landed in my bowman, but honestly that's okay. He did not interrupt my front line.
Quickly now! Leg it! Run, man! Moving at pace!
Here we have a few kings being hit by my Knights of the Realm. And they fought that quite well, but the Knights of the Realm were wounded beforehand, so yeah.
Take the ground! Bound by honor! Post haste! Full deals! The lady wins it! At speed! Attack!
Here I didn't want to charge their Lothar and Sigurd since they have spears. I kinda have to charge them from behind if I want to fight them. Which naturally makes my knights kinda open for their attacks. And there we have the enemy lord landing here. Which is okay, so I try to charge him a bit. And he gets some damage. Well, that we have some spearmen showing their back to my archers, which is good for my archers. And some units of me that I've forgotten here. Here those knights helped with some lizardmen. Luckily I didn't go up against the lizardman with his 4 units of cavalry. It would have been a massacre, since his cavalry is kinda better against other cavalry. And here we have another flock of doom going down. I think they were tightly packed here. Just the normal variant, not the overcast, because I did not have enough mana. Winds of Magic. Sorry. Right now the battle is all over the field. And I kinda forgot about these knights since they crushed the Saurus warriors there. We have one of my units following their whole line of Lothar and Sigurd, which are on skirmish mode or something, and run away, which makes them more suspensible to my charge, since charge defense only works if you look into their direction and are standing still. So yeah. And here we have a little engagement between my archers and their archers. But I think my archers have it in their pocket, since they have a few more models, and even if high elf archers are kinda elite due to their range, they still don't do too well in this comparison, especially since I'm kinda focusing down one group right now. And had some peasant mobs take some hits. At this point my knights are kinda messed up since the dragon helped, but had some time dealing with the spearmen and stuff. My ally mostly killed the enemy Saurus warrior, and I have still one pretty healthy unit of Knights of the Realm, which are now, well, not really helping, but charged through to get into the back of these spearmen, or not? Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they got caught and I didn't give them another order, or I wanted them to help these bowmen. My one good unit. And here again a back charge, which they couldn't hold against, since they were kinda in combat. And at this point some of my units came back, so They come back to the front line. One of my swordsmen is basically holding off these hill archers.
March!
Here we have still one dragon right now charging into my nice archers, which immediately run for their lives since they are peasants. I didn't sign up for this! It's a freaking dragon! And I only have a useless string on sword. Hey, who gave this peasant swords? They are my peasants, they have to be sheep so they don't get swords.
Get out of here!
At this point, my mage should have been focused out, if I'm correct. Yeah. Or that also could have happened long ago. And with that we have a rout of the enemy. And let's take a look at the kill count. For my basic frontline they didn't do too much, they were mostly up against archers, so yeah, they couldn't net too many kills. Well, they hold the spear line. But my cavalry did okay, especially because it was against archers with a low number of units and their Eagle Claw bow thrower. And once again, I wonder why this player did not bring any mage support. You don't even have to bring the light mage for the net stuff, if you're not into nets like me, but you could also bring something to support your front line of spearmen. Well, my peasants also just died. For my ally, oh yeah, a good amount of kills all over the board. Even the fire wizard got some. Well, fire wizard is not a choice I would take against lizardmen, since the fire spells are mostly AoE focused and not damage focused or AP focused, so single target damage focused and AP focused. So even with a buff you apply to your units with a banner of the Eternal Flame of 22% damage, well, that is good, but still the spells are not that efficient against the high armor of Thoros warriors, or the good armor, well, whatever you want to call it. The knights got shut down, which is no wonder since the Lizardman player brought 4 units of Cav, which clearly outclasses them, and the Luminarch got 42 kills, even though I'm pretty sure it was using most of his ammunition to snipe the Slan Mage Priest. Yeah, for the High Elf player, their bowmen got a good amount of kills, some especially against my cavalry. These bolt throwers were basically left at the front line once the front line kinda split up to counter my cavalry, which makes them die pretty fast. And since they were mostly firing against my peasant mobs at the beginning, they didn't do too much in terms of battle change, while their lord got a good amount of kills on his Sun Dragon. It's rare to see a Sun Dragon, so I'm happy whenever I see one. Also a Prince, which is usually good against big single units. And for the Lizardman player, the Zoros didn't do too well against the Greatsword line, and my Cav support was this 1 unit or something. Well, this unit got some kills, probably were up against the Tattersouls. And the Skin cohorts also did not do too much. 1 unit got charged by my units. But the Cold One cavalry did a good amount of kills, and I wonder why the Feral Stegadon died. Probably because it was shot down by the Temple of Luminarch or the Silver Bullets. They can take them down pretty good. And the Slan Priest got killed pretty fast by the Temple of Luminarch. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day, and Happy New Year if it's that time for you already.